Alright, what's up, y'all? I just want to show y'all what's going on out here. I can't remember what I showed y'all last. I know I filmed something about some goji berries. I know I did that, but first of all, y'all look at that there. That's every bit of 15 feet. And can y'all see the peas in there? Right there. Right there. Oh, there goes some more forming up there. Those are lady cream peas. So if y'all think you ain't got enough space to grow peas, I say grow them up. Now, true enough, I ain't saying 15 feet. In order for me to get all these, what's finna happen is, what's going to happen is when this plant die off, I'm going to pull all of it down and get the peas all at once, the ones that I cannot reach. They do start down here, and I do pick peas down here, because as you can see, there's one over there with some aphids on it. I want to mention this about cow peas, at least in my experience. I don't freak out about aphids being on them, on my peas or beans, unless that I notice that it is slowing the plant down. But y'all tell me, is them aphids slowing this plant down? No. You know what I'm saying? So I don't worry about I don't really worry about the aphids on here. Y'all can see this is another variety. This is the iron and clay. They finally took off and decided to make peas, and you can see a lot of peas in there and a lot of flowers. This is probably 10 foot. Most of these I will probably be able to get. This is just some grocery store bell peppers. Those eggplants down there, I'm letting them dry and go to seed. You can see here, like I said, my iron and clay never made until recently. Now, what I don't like about, the only thing about the aphids that I'm not liking, these particular aphids. Oh, I see a ladybug over there. Maybe it's working. I know these 1 or 2 ladybugs not gonna eat all these aphids. Cause look at that. Y'all see how covered that is? Can y'all see them working right there? You can see the ladybug in the back. But if you look up here up close, y'all see them. So I just come in, smash all that. Like right in here where these blossoms are, I do try to smash a lot of the aphids. And the reason being is because sometimes right where your peas and right where your blossoms is, they'll suck that blossom so dry that it won't even make any peas. You get what I'm saying? Like they destroy the blossom. Because that's what aphids do. They suck the juice out the plants. And sometimes when they do that, you know, and I'm starting to think these assassin bugs eat aphids too, because I've seen a lot of assassin bugs on this. But I'm not really feeling the aphids on this particular plant right now, because I'm going to tell y'all, it ain't just regular ants. Gardenees. No. They are not regular ants, y'all. The ants guarding these suckers is fire ants. And I came over here one day and wasn't really paying attention, because usually in my garden, let's see, this is what I do sometimes. To try to keep them down a little bit, you can use the water method. I just don't have no water on me right this second. There's a lizard. I wonder, do lizards eat aphids? That I don't know. I hope they do. But I do just try to smash at least some of them, because you smash so many at once. And then, yeah, your hands get mucky. You just wash your hands. That's what water's made for. Soap and water, that is. But like I said, sometimes when they cover these flowers, I do try to kill. But I have to be careful. These fire ants spoil. Just like, see that whole bean is covered. So what I'm going to do with that is, I'm just going to, actually that wasn't even a bean. That was just a whole stem. Y'all see all that? So, and this don't, if they eat on your bean pods too much, they can. But keep in mind, these are cow peas. You're not going to eat the outside of the, you usually shell these and eat these. Now, I have heard about people taking cow peas and eating eating them in this stage when they're green, like green beans. I have heard of that. I said I was gonna try that. I got a few ladybugs in here. I saw one over there. Can y'all probably can't see that red dot way over there. There's one. But yeah, I wanted to show y'all that the iron and clay finally took off. I don't know if it's because it had to cool off, because this plant has been huge for a long time. So it's not that the plant wasn't mature enough. This plant has been huge for months. It has been growing and taking over stuff for months. So I don't know why it took all that. I'm finna wash my hands, y'all, because these things are sticky. I'm gonna put a little water over here. I almost killed the mulberry. I got some mulberry and some comfrey in there. But anyway, I'm gonna use soap later, y'all. But for right now, I just want to get the stickiness off and the bug bodies. And I'm washing one-handed, so y'all don't laugh at me. Okay, so I wanted to show y'all that on that. Well, my little volunteer pea. Show y'all this here. That freaking cactus. Y'all keep in mind, that's new. That's the new little piece. All them pieces in there, that's the new piece. All them pieces, them the new pieces. So I'm gonna move them very, very soon, because that tree right there is gonna become the trellis for it. Now that I found out how they actually grow natively, they will make aerial roots and grab on to stuff. So I'm gonna let it grab onto that. That's just because I like using kind of natural stuff as my trellises, stuff that I really don't have to worry about it going anywhere. Because as y'all can see, my bamboo poles fell. I still have not picked them up. This one particular blondie okra, don't know why, this is the one that has the most aphids on it. It has fire ants guarding those aphids as well. So I'm careful when I pick on that, because I'm allergic to ants. I'm unlike most people. Most people just get a bite. No, I get a bite and a blister and burning and itching and screaming and hollering. This, you know. So my okra has really started to put on. I don't know why. This year, y'all, has been real weird for me. When the okra was at the heat of the season, now this particular okra, I know why it took. You know, the squash was shading this okra out at first. But then the vine borers eventually got my squash. I left a squash down there. Can y'all see all them? I threw some watermelons down here as compost in place. They had seeds. I don't care. Peanuts in there. So I got a little some of everything growing in here. But this is the way I'm gonna give y'all a tip. That sucker, didn't see him. He was on that leaf. He was on that leaf for about 3 days. Now he has come over here. If he fly and jump, I'm gonna throw this phone down and run off. And they don't even bite. But I ain't for that. I ain't fucking them. That thing big. He about, I don't know. That's my hand. I ain't even get no closer. He almost 2 inches. Almost. Did you poop on the leaf? Is that grasshopper turd? I don't want to know if that's what that is. I'm doing too much. Anyway, I'm gonna give y'all a tip. If you gonna grow like this, my best advice is grow the okra first. Let it get tall. And do the squash. And basically what you can kind of do is like a 2 sisters or 3 sisters, something like that, to where you have your tall stuff that if you have a pumpkin or a squash, it can vine up. And the okra, the stems are usually thick enough, because people, you know, they talk about Native Americans using corn and stuff, but you can use other stuff. They usually say 3 sisters is corn, squash, and beans. And your corn provides a trellis for the beans, and your squash kind of stays low and shades the ground. You can get the same effect with okra, squash, and I would say beans, peas, anything that likes to vine, really. I'm trying to think of something else that might vine that may not produce such a cucumber. You could do cucumber, you know. So I always think about that, but I'm gonna tell you now, plant your okra so that your okra is tall enough. Because what I did was I planted okra and squash at the same time, and the squash shaded out my okra. My okra babies did not get big enough until they could get enough sunlight. So I would say plant your okra first. let them get about a foot tall, because okra grow pretty quick. Then throw your squash in, because squash grows exceedingly fast. So, and if you have whatever your vining crop is, you probably can go ahead and put that in the same time you put your squash in, because most vining crops, they have sense enough to reach for whatever they're going to trellis up or find sunlight or whatever. So, you know, they can kind of get out of the way of stuff. The okra just really couldn't get out from up under that squash until late. But I had okra over there, and the okra over there didn't do too well. So this, like, I got okra off of it, but it didn't do as well as I wanted it to. This year's just really been weird. Like I said, the year started off, y'all get tired of me saying this, with that ice storm and all that, but whatever. I do have rice. Aphids tried to get on my rice like twice, and I sprayed them suckers off, because I've never grown rice, and what I'm getting, I don't want to waste. So these here, for whatever reason, I don't know if this is genetic anomaly or whatever, these right here, you see it tried to make the little rice thingies, but it didn't have the little pollen thingies on them, so I'm not sure exactly what happened. But these aren't viable. They aren't going to be, you can just tell, like, if you know what rice looks like, you can tell. For instance, also when you feel it, like, let me see if I can get this to focus. You see, this does have the husk on it, but when you feel it, it feels like rice, like it's a hard grain. These two, they started out green, and it seems like when they get pollinated, the husk goes, it's almost like corn. They get a little pollen tassel thingy up here, and then when they get the pollen tassel thingy, it pollinates the little grains or whatever. Just like, see how most of these are green, but I assume as they get pollinated and viable, they'll do their thing. But I'm still having plants there putting out rice. I think I got one up there. Keep in mind, this was in the back half was one variety, and then the front half was another variety. But that variety in the front half, I don't think I'm gonna get anything out of it. I'm not gonna cook any of this, because this is not enough rice for a sister girl to even eat in one meal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save every last one of these seeds, plant these seeds again, and then hopefully, now that I know how to grow it, that's another thing. I'm not going to say don't grow your rice with your watermelons. That's not what I'm not going to say that, because this rice back here did do good. What I'm going to say is, once again, let your rice get tall enough, and drop your melons in, because this had to fight to come up through the melons, and I think that's why it took a little while. My rice was a little slow. It did take a little while for the rice to germinate. I also attribute that to, this is a first-year hugelkultur bed. The soil contact might not have been as good, because I was growing in basically wood chips that were not very, very fine. They were kind of coarse wood chips. So the seed, the soil contact on the seed probably wasn't that good. So I don't think I got I mean, the germination rate on the pack was like 80-something%. I think I got 70-something%. I attribute that difference to what I planted them in, because some seeds are more picky. Like watermelon, squash, and stuff, they don't care. They'll come up in anything. You'll notice them seeds be sitting on the ground. As long as they stay moist, they'll start germinating. Beans are the same way. Peas are the same way. Some stuff is not like that. It needs good soil contact. Peppers are that way. Eggplants are that way. You need pretty good soil contact for them to come up good. My little experiment with my 30 days. That's a freaking spider, and I don't know what kind. It looked like a brown recluse. I ain't for sure. He may have to die. And he climbing to a spot where I ain't gonna be able to get him good too. See, that make me sick with that. But anyway, this is actually looking good. I'm gonna keep feeding these as much as I can daily. I've been feeding them daily with the little tea I make or whatever. I'm gonna keep doing that. I honestly attribute those peas to that too. Some of it, they were speeding up in growth anyway, but it has cooled off. And this is an orange variety of tomato. I can't remember if when I harvested the other ones I showed it, but I don't think I did. The soil in this bed, this is my worst bed. It has a lot of clay in it. And it's really dense, really dense. I'm not gonna say it doesn't have any nutrients, because it clearly does, but the it's very, very dense, hard. Like, you have to have a trowel or something to dig in this. And what's funny is somebody told me that Swiss chard, oh, it needs really deep, loose soil. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. The Swiss chard does not care that it's growing in clay, in a hard clay. It doesn't care. I come out here and harvest off of it, and it just keeps growing. So you don't need dense loose soil for Swiss chard. When I was struggling with Swiss chard before, I think I was just struggling because I probably was planting it at the wrong time of year, and ain't no telling what all I was doing wrong, because y'all know me. I garden by the seat of my pants. So, you know. Let's go over here and see what we got. So over here we got sweet potatoes, and y'all remember I had my regular potatoes in here too. I'm gonna be honest, I never pulled those regular potatoes because my sweet potatoes took off, and I didn't want to disturb my sweet potatoes. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I put priority of sweet potatoes over regular potatoes. I think the regular potatoes are still in there, but they may have rotted. I'm not for sure, because see, I didn't pull those regular potatoes either, and what they did was the tops died, but now they're coming back. I have not seen any of those regular potatoes come back in here. But what I will say is this. Somebody years ago did an experiment where they used regular potatoes to actually fertilize a garden bed. So what they did was they grew regular Irish potatoes and left the potatoes. When the stems died back, I want to say they turned the stems into the soil, and they planted on that garden bed, and they never fertilized that bed the whole season. And those rotting potatoes actually fertilized everything in that bed. So if my regular potatoes ended up being fertilizer for the sweet potatoes, I'm all good with that. If I dig it up and I find regular potatoes and sweet potatoes, I'm all good with that. It's not a problem to me. Those sweet potatoes the regular potatoes that I planted up here that y'all saw that were real lush, those were actually the extras that I didn't have any place to put them. I harvested the other ones. I'll be honest, I didn't film it. I was going to cook real quick, real fast that day, and I didn't have time to really show harvesting because I was just going to harvest them real quick and cook them with something. So I harvested them and cooked them. It wasn't a huge harvest. I'm not going to grow regular potatoes in the shade gardens anymore. I'm just not getting the production that I got that first time. I actually think I'm going to move the shade gardens, at least part of it. Not moving the trees, those are staying. But if I move it, I'll show y'all what I'm going to do. I want to show you something that most people, you know what? I'm going to save that for a video on its own. But this is my little greens, little bed or whatever. I think this is going to kind of be like perennial-like. I need to water my mulberries. They're looking kind of, man, the goji berries. The goji berries. Bro. Like, nothing but like little bloom pods. Nothing but bloom pods. Just all the way up. Nothing, like, look at this. Like, this limb won't even think about standing up on its own. Won't even think about it. And most of those are already pollinated goji berries. I've never had any. And it's like when it cooled off, that thing really started taking off. I need to basically cut all the lemongrass down and wrap all these up and make little tea wrap things for that. My fig over there is doing good. That's my white pomegranate. Pit Stop Kitchen and Garden gave me that. I thought I killed it, and then somehow I was able to resurrect it from the dead. So I was happy about that because I've never tasted a white pomegranate. They've always fascinated me, but it's not something I can get in the stores around here. Harlequin bugs driving me insane. I'm probably going to throw some diatomaceous earth over all of this. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't show in the camera as bad as it actually looks in person. See that harlequin bug on there? But you see these little spots. And it's not that that's inedible. You can wash that and eat it, but they don't eat all the way through, but it's like they eat, they eat all the green stuff. So it's like, whatever the hell they do to it. I don't know what they do to it, but see, and it's supposed to rain in the next 4 or 5 days. See, that's why I haven't really been able to treat this bed like I want it. Because every time I get ready to treat it, it freaking rains. And when you don't use chemicals, really, it's hard to kind of stay on top of that. But the leeks are growing. They look pretty good. But I mean, when it cools off, trust me, this stuff will take off. The harlequin bugs will disappear because they won't like the cold. It'll be fine. But I'm kind of tired of the harlequin bugs. I really am. Tired of them. They're getting on my nerves. But yeah, I just wanted to walk around and show you guys. I don't have a whole lot other stuff to show you. There's some stuff in the back, but this video is 20 minutes. I'll do another video and show you the stuff in the back. It's a volunteer pea plant. I just noticed that. That's brand new. I don't know where that pea came from. Like I said, I think birds get them and drop them or poop them out or something. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, till next time. Catch you guys later.